Here in Seattle. We've got a very brief show today. Got Mariner baseball coming up at 3 o'clock. We'll turn you over to the pregame show. They're in the Bronx to face the Yankees, and weather permitting, they're going to get that game in, hopefully. We'll see. Could be some delay, so if there is, just a little programming note. If they do suffer a rain delay or something, Dave and I will jump back on and dazzle you with just very entertaining things until they get play resumed. So never fear, you're going to be taken care of by professionals.
Well, we hope to hear the game, of course, because this is going to be a big test, man. They're starting a road trip here that a couple of the better teams in Major League Baseball and statistically. So Yankees have been slumping lately, but big time. But they have like 6 players that hit over 250.
Yeah, they're underperforming. They've dropped 7 of 10. They're now in second place. The Blue Jays are in first place in the American League East by 3.5 games.
Oh, and
they've won
swept
9 in a row.
Yeah,
the Blue Jays, they are on fire right now. So yeah, the Yankees have hit a bit of a speed bump. Hopefully that continues through this series.
Yeah,
and you're not facing the elite of their rotation, so that's good. That bodes well for the Mariners. So again, it's 6 games before the All-Star break.
Yeah,
I was asked on the we did that Bob's Baseball Breakdown. What do you expect, or what do you want to see? So just give me 500. I want more, obviously. Sure. I want a winning, out of these 6 games, I would love to take 6. Realistically, you go into it going, we got to break even. We got to take 3 of 6. Anything over that, that's gravy. So hopefully they can get 3 between the 3 games with the Yankees and the 3 with the Tigers.
Yeah,
which means you're going to win one of these series.
Right. Well, and, the thing is, you look at them, and this is something we always talk about in the NFL. It's like, oh, this team's on a 3-game losing streak. I don't want to play them. Why not? That's what Moyer always says. I mean, this is a team it's slumping. They're slumping right now. I mean, I'd much rather have them coming off of losing, and they got swept by Toronto. I mean, Toronto put up 5, 12, 11, 8 runs. I mean, a 4-game sweep to Toronto, and then, they lost the series to the Mets. Yeah, they're but, you could also say, well, with this much power and how they are ranked, you're not going to keep them down for very long, but we hope for the next 3 games anyway.
Yeah, I mean, and right now they've got the first wild card spot. It's the Yankees have that first wild card, the Rays have the second, and our beloved Mariners currently hold that 3rd spot. They're 2 games up on the Boston Red Sox, so there's not a lot of distance between them and the Red Sox. So these are crucial games, man. You want to hang on to that spot. Yeah, I'd love to win the division, and the Astros lost, so you're now 6.5 back. So it's been trimmed by a half game, but that's a bigger gap to close right there. So hopefully they can get it done. I'm curious where people are at. You guys can text in on this, 866-979-3776. The Mariners, they just had that 17 games in a row. 17 games in a row. They won 11. 11-6. They had the 7-game homestand. They go 5-2. I mean, was it perfect? No, there are things you could point to. I wish they did this. This guy did that. Whatever. Bottom line is, that's a nice clip you're winning at. I'll take 11 of 17 every time. 5 of 7, absolutely. Has it changed your opinion on the team? Has it changed your level of belief in this team? That what they, despite everything that the flaws that I point out or anybody points out. There's a team that's finding a way to get it done, and the rotation certainly looks like it's headed back in the right direction. But I'm curious for Mariner fans that are listening, did this run do anything to alter your perception, your expectation for this team? 866-979-3776.
Yeah, I mean, I could see why people would not, and I was being Doomsday Dave yesterday, just a little bit, just because.
It's okay, it happens.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the teams, the Pirates and the Kansas City Royals that they beat, you look at their numbers and what they do offensively. I mean, they're supposed to beat those teams, and very often they don't. Right.
There's the difference.
That's the other side of it, is that you did to them exactly what you should do.
And how often do they go up against teams like that, and you're going,
right,
what the hell happened here?
Like the Nationals.
Yeah, I mean, look,
the
series with the Royals wasn't awesome. You split.
Yeah.
Should have won that series. That's a team at home, you should beat that team. You should take 3 or 4 from them. You didn't. But then you kind of made up for it by sweeping the Pirates. You'd go into that going, all right, let's get 2 of 3. Well, you took all 3, and your pitching was ridiculous.
Right. Well, and that's the thing I'm really excited to see. Maybe the most excited to see tonight is Logan Gilbert, because I feel like this rotation, and once it gets back into, because the numbers are starting to improve pretty drastically, just over, since like the middle of May. We talked about that as far as the pitching numbers go, they're just slowly making their way back after that rough start with injuries and things like that. So if Logan can go out there and just deal tonight,
doesn't he feel like he's
so much better?
He's the last of the bunch to find that, get deep into it. We saw Castillo go 7. He was brilliant. Best start of the year. Kirby looks like he's Kirby again.
Right.
Brian Woo's been Brian Woo. He's been phenomenal. We got the one spot that's been Hancock or Logan Evans. We'll kind of put that to the side. Kind of waiting for, Gilbert's had some nice outings. He's not giving up a ton of runs or anything like that, but he's not going deep. He's a guy, he led the league in innings pitched last year. He hasn't been that guy yet. He hasn't returned to that form yet.
Yeah, and he's had a couple of, where they took him out like 4 2/3 the last outing against Kansas City, and I don't know, he was at 95 pitches at that point. But
what did he allow? He had 2 runs, right?
He gave up 1.
1 run, okay.
1 earned run.
So yeah, limited the damage. He's effective but not efficient.
But you're right. He's the game before that, 5 1/3. Before that, 3 innings, 4 2/3. So yeah, he is. Since it's not been since the opener, was that the opener that he pitched in?
Yeah.
Yeah, where 7 innings and he gave up 1 earned run, which was a home run, and that was it. Didn't walk anybody, and so really you have to go back to the very beginning of the season to see a Logan-like performance. So yeah, I think you're right. I think he's the last one of other than the 5th spot. Of the big 4 there that is, yet to go deep and, have those kind of performances you expect.
Yeah, and look, this is a tough park because the ball can sail here.
Yeah.
And we don't know what the weather's going to be. I don't know if there's going to be wind. We know the rain and is expected, how heavy the rainfall is going to be. I don't know. It seems to be
like thunderstorms, scattered thunderstorms.
Starting at game time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, what's that voice? Oh,
that's Mike Lefkoe.
Back from Wimbledon.
Hello.
He's back from England. Did you?
I'm here to thrill Matt.
Yeah, Matt is he couldn't wait for you to get back. He's like, I miss Lefkoe. No, he never said anything like that.
But
I no longer have to produce. I am thrilled to have Mike Lefkoe back in the States.
You'll listen to his
This
inane.
is the happiest Matt's ever been to have me back, and I love it. I should go away more.
Yes.
Yes, you should. No, wait, then I'd have to produce. This is a predicament.
And you got Brady over your left shoulder. You're really in a good mood. I
Morons
can't
in
believe
stereo
you're happy.
today.
He's smiling with those 2 in the room with him. That's he really did want to stop producing. He was very. Did you commiserate with the people around you at Wimbledon? You were watching tennis. Did you talk to him about your tennis history, your greatness with the racket, and how you've transferred those skills to pickleball and things like that?
You know what? They don't really like pickleball at Wimbledon.
Huh? They don't respect it the way that they should.
No.
They don't look at it as a legitimate sport.
They think it's a big step down.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you say I
it's
used
all
to
tennis proper there?
Yeah, I think it goes tennis and then really, really a long ways down
to ping
pickleball,
pong,
and then below that is ping pong.
Apparently, Bump is a big pickleball guy now. That was a great development. Did you see that? The shirt he was wearing?
No.
The Champions for Change, so he must have played in it.
You think you can take him down?
Did he challenge you?
I don't know. A new challenge?
Was he talking smack? You going to take him and Ryan Roland Smith at the same time?
Let's see. Bump. Throwing down the challenge. I assume he's still listening. Hopefully,
you got
drive home.
A broken down linebacker. You've got, and then you've got Ryan Roland Smith, who was a bullpen reliever, and now you got a receiver who's not that old.
Dave
from the NFL.
You want to be on my team? We'll play him in doubles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
me and Wyman versus Ryan Roland Smith and Bump.
Then I feel like I'm going to get the story the next day about how he had to carry you to victory the way he did Mike Salk.
I'm afraid that would have to be the case.
He almost lost to a group of elderly people, but because Salk was just dragging him down like a big anchor, and he had to carry him to victory.
Michael looked back and go, "Why didn't you try to get that one?" I'm like, "Well, I knew I couldn't get it, so
I didn't want to blow out a knee."
Yeah. Hey, like I said, I can run. I just can't stop.
Yeah, just keep going. Just keep going.
Like fences around the pickleball court.
Welcome back, Mike. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
I know Matt is ecstatic.
I missed all of you.
Yeah, no, you didn't, but that's okay. It's good to have you back.
The look on Matt's face.
And you'll be surprised to know.
Never seen him so happy.
Texters were taking shots at you, even though you weren't here. You were catching strays.
Stunned to hear that.
I know.
Wow.
You
And
wouldn't
you know
expect
what?
that.
We didn't even provoke them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't say anything about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just flying in.
I heard I got blamed for links or something like
You
that.
did. You took ownership of how Dave opens links on the show sheet without question. You were instructing him to highlight the whole thing and then click and go through all these unnecessary steps. And I don't
It's
know.
weird.
I
I'm
don't
going
know
to
why you
have an
told him to
off-air
do that.
conversation with Matt, see what else I got blamed for, because I'm not sure
you're
all these
not.
are true.
Whenever
are,
Mike
though,
put a
maybe.
link, I could always open it. Now all of a sudden I can't open it.
He was buckled by whatever Matt was doing. He just
Trying to highlight it, nothing came up. It's terrible.
Matt and I are both going, why are you highlighting it? Because that's what Lefko told me to do.
Well, I don't know if he told me to do that, but it just always worked. So why is it not working now? I'm sorry, that's not on me.
Oh, so
Yeah,
good.
it couldn't be on you.
No.
No, not operator error. I was looking for some positivity surrounding Julio because we do have it's a very small but vocal segment of the listenership that feels like we pick on him. We're always picking on him. Why are you picking on him? I was looking at his numbers just over the last couple of seasons. Last season, month of July for Julio, he hit 375, had a 434 on base, 688 slug, 1121 OPS. He was ridiculous. In September of last season, hit 328, 349 on base, 546 slug, 895. Big September. You look at him in 23 in July, 292, 353 on base, 472, 875. August of 23, hit 429, 474 on base, 1197 OPS. So, point being, this seems to be who he's been. Slow starter. Yeah, you get some blips, some bright spots where he produces, but the second half, July, August, September, those months, just if you just look at his track record, that's who he's been. So,
Right.
Are we about to see him do this again? Does that give you any comfort? Does that give you any feeling of okay? Yeah, there have been frustrating moments and runners in scoring position. It's not been good, but this is where he shines. This is where he comes to life.
I don't know about that, man. I mean, I believe in Julio. Well, I'm going to say something opposite of that. Here's the thing, though.
You're arguing with you.
Yeah, a little bit. Just because, what you saw last year when he was struggling, he was getting jammed inside, and then everything was down and away, swinging it down and away.
And he was way more off balance last year than he is now.
You
Yeah,
think?
he still swings hard and he'll fall into the other side, but
Yeah.
he was doing that. It felt like every swing
Coming out of his shoes.
Yeah, I feel like he's more balanced right now, but
Yeah.
he's off in terms of he's behind the fastball. He's way out in front of the off speed and topping it and just beating everything into the ground.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's gonna. He just, to me, it looks like he's a little bit more lost than he was last year. Even I remember we talked to Moyer, and what do you think about it? And Paul, who's a baseball guy, but he was saying, I don't know, man, this might need to be fixed in the off season. And I don't know. I mean, it's just been weird that it's been different this year. That certain things were beating him last year, and now certain things are beating him this year. And it's almost like, okay, he fixed that part of it, but now there's something new, and don't know. But I mean, look, this has been the story of his career, and we've done this. I love going through his game logs and, selecting, let's start on July 13th and run through, the end of August. And you just find just unbelievably good numbers, like you just said, like you just stated there. And I don't know if he has it in him this year. I mean, July.
Oh, it's in there, Dave. Just will it come out?
Yeah. I mean, maybe this will be one of those trips where, he gets it together. But yeah, I mean, they really need that. I mean, because, we talk about their offensive numbers and how they're starting to heat up, and they're back, they're up in everything, as far as like walks, on base percentage, slug, all that. We're talking about middle of the road numbers, and even, 10, 12, number 6 in home runs because of Cal, but you've got exactly what you need there, but is it sustainable? I mean, because the pitching seems like it's starting to come on, and that's why I think, the whole Logan Gilbert thing tonight is it's going to be really important. I'd like to see him go, 7, obviously, but that's starting to come back together. But then, I don't know, it just seems like Rosarena's heating up. Cal obviously is red hot. I mean, not as far as his average. He had 3 hits, but they were all home runs over the series. And then, you look at you need some help. And like I said, I mean, you look at the Yankees, and they've got 5 guys that are hitting over 250.
Yeah.
So where's the help?
Yeah. And the other question is, can they win if he doesn't turn into the guy he's been in previous seasons in the second half? Let's say you're right, and your doubts are fulfilled, and he just, for whatever reason, doesn't have the Julys he's had and the August and Septembers he's had in the past. Can they win? Can they hang on to this third wild card spot? It puts more pressure on Cal, puts more on Randy, puts more on everybody else in the lineup. But let's just play that out and say, all right, for whatever reason, this is who he is the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Will they be a playoff team?
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, I would say probably not, and that also depends on how much they do, at the trade deadline.
And if other guys come through, I think they can actually. He keeps playing the defense he's playing, and if you get Randy chipping in and Luke Raley starts getting it, and Canzone continues with it, he seems to be a bit different. I think they can. It would certainly make life a lot easier if he were the guy he's been the past couple of years in the second half. But I kind of feel like they can, and that's without knowing what they do at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're in a decent spot. 509 says the guy is literally an all-star. Shaking my head. What are you shaking your head at, man? Are you watching him this year? Are you that big a fan that you're in that much denial as to what he's produced? I mean, what are you talking about? You're shaking your head. This is what I don't get. I get it. We all love Julio. I love the kid. I'm pulling for him. But I can also see what he is and is not doing. Are you watching the games? I don't get this sort of, you're picking on him, and why are you talking about that? Because he's the biggest name on this team still. Despite Cal doing what he's doing, the most notable figure in a Mariners uniform is Julio Rodriguez. He's the guy you invested in. He's the guy that's been marketed as the star. It's a fair conversation to have.
Yeah.
Shake your head. Don't hurt your neck, man. I mean, I don't get that. I don't get that mentality. It's not ripping him. It's hey, this is where we're at with him. Can he be that guy? If he's not that guy, what does that mean to the future of this team as this season carries on? Those are fair questions. It's not, he stinks, trade him, bench him. There's none of that.
Yeah.
I don't understand some of those reactions.
And again, much like Tyler Lockett dropping a pass, I mean, there's one thing I remember this year defensively, and that was the one that he lost the other day. Maybe there's been more, as far as, what he's
Yeah, I mean, that one was just so weird.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
But he's fantastic
Yeah,
defensively. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're just, somebody said also, you're picking on him. SMDH, what does that mean?
Shaking my damn head.
Damn head?
Yeah.
I thought it meant dumb head.
I'm going to guess that they're being sarcastic.
I think the D stands for dumb.
Shaking their dumb head. I don't quite get that. It's not like, I don't know. I don't get the sensitivity to questioning what you're seeing. I don't understand that mentality. We're all fans of the guy. We're all fans of the team. We want to see it and have seen him do great things. We're talking about, can he be that guy he's been in the second half of these other seasons? Because this has been his pattern.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Jerry DiPoto was saying the other day that, the ball starts to fly out of the park in June as well. But Julio seems like his are always, right at the beginning of July. I'm trying to remember if there was like a very noticeable moment last year, or was it just like a gradual thing over like 3 or 4 games, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, you can take a deep breath now because Julio is back. Mm-hmm. He's back to being good Julio anyway.
Yeah, and look, I think he can be right there. I loved what he did with that double the other day off Skeens, no less. The fact that he hit that double off Skeens, he squared it up. I was like, okay.
Maybe that's the click for him.
It could be.
It could be just something like that. Because like I said, I don't remember anything, gradual. It was just all of a sudden, oh, yeah, Julio went 3 for 4 last night and didn't look back.
All right, let's take 2.
Well, the Yankees announced some news for tomorrow's game. They're going to have their top pitching prospect, please say this name carefully, Cam Schlittler, make his MLB debut tomorrow night. They've allowed at least 4 runs in 9 straight games. If you're looking for some optimism tonight for the Mariners, yeah, the Yankees have been struggling 2-7 in that stretch, and the Mariners are 38-12 when they score at least 4 runs in a game.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to say his name because I just called Julio Julio.
Did you? Did you say that?
I corrected myself quickly.
I didn't even catch that.
Okay,
Julio.
Schlittler.
So that's, tomorrow night. Will Warren tonight for them, a right-hander, then Cam Schlittler tomorrow night.
You're making Matt nervous over there. He's got his hand hovering
think
over
he's
the dump
amused.
button.
Stop it. Stop it.
Good thing you didn't sit in on our Jeremy Piven interview.
Oh,
It's going to have to be some editing. Yeah, we had a great conversation with Jeremy Piven, who's in town doing stand-up comedy this weekend.
Yeah.
So we had him in studio and recorded that. We'll have that for you tomorrow, but there's going to be, we have to clean it up a little bit.
A little bit. He's at what?
The Neptune Theater.
That's
Neptune Theater. And by the way, I guess I could say it now. He said if you mention Wyman and Bob, you'll get a free meet and greet with him. So if you want to meet Jeremy Piven, tell him you heard it on Wyman and Bob.
Yeah,
How about
boy,
that?
I hope nobody from the 509 shows up.
You think it'll be poor representation?
I'm just kidding. I love the 509. Those are my people.
So they actually, later today, the video version's going up. So they can watch that. And then, we'll air it tomorrow at 2:30 for now on this show, Wyman and Bob. And like you said, Bob mentioned that name. They can go see him, afterwards, meet and greet there. Okay, the other NFL news that came out, today, I think, Quarterback Drop. Season 2 of Quarterback dropped on Netflix. Features Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, and Kirk Cousins. And Kirk Cousins had an interesting part in there, saying he felt a little misled about the Falcons picking a quarterback so high in the draft, Michael Penix, obviously at number 8, and that it might have affected his decision during free agency had he known they were going to do that.
That's kind of weird because he's played it so well to this point.
Yeah.
And everybody asked that question. Like, whoa, what do they just signed Kirk Cousins to this deal and they're drafting this kid number 8 overall? And
Right.
so I think it was fair to wonder, well, hey, what's going on here? I don't know. Misled, does the team owe him if they're committing whatever I can't remember his contract, but all right, you're getting $54 million over 2 years, whatever it is. Do they owe him anything beyond that? Like, hey man, you're still getting paid, you're still on this roster. Do they owe him a conversation?
No, I don't think so. And misled. Okay, I mean it's weird. I mean nobody wants that, right? You sign there and they pick the number 8 quarterback, but I mean, yeah, I wonder if was there a story about them calling him right before they picked him? I don't
recall that.
No, that was the Seahawks did. I do not think the Falcons warned him at all.
Yeah.
So
maybe they could have done with a heads up, perhaps. I mean, I don't know if they owe it to him, but it would have been maybe the right thing to do. Say, hey, Kurt, here's what we're doing, just because you're going to get a lot of questions.
Well, you're on it, though. I mean, they owe him the money that they signed the contract for.
Yeah,
that's what they owe him.
Take Two is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. Coming up this week could shift the entire perception around the Mariners season. We'll explain why. Coming up next, it's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710.
Here comes the 0-2.
After a weekend of pitching dominance.
Strike 3 called freeze him. Ryan Wu punches out his 7th hitter.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. George Kirby strikes out Triolo.
And Castillo scoreless through 4.
The Mariners take their 3-series win streak on the road. Mariners, Yankees, live from the Bronx. Today at 4. Hear every pitch on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app. The home of the Mariners.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here. I want to tell you about one of the best decisions I've made in my life, and that's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That is Refractive Lens Exchange. Now, if you're somebody like me that needed readers for any small print, I mean, for me, it was reading menus and reading receipts that came with the food or reading text messages. If I didn't, pump up the size of the text, it was just a pain in the backside. So if you're somebody like that, or maybe it's the opposite, you can't see distance. Distance is a problem for you. K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect and, more importantly, your permanent solution. And here's really the capper. You're never going to develop a cataract. K2 Vision RLE is quick, It's painless. I am seeing great now without readers, and you could do the same exact thing. You can be as active as you want, whether you're into outdoor activities, going to ball games. You're going to be able to see the flight of the ball. You're going to be able to see the scoreboard. It's an amazing thing. RLE is a game changer. I'm excited to spend these good active years not needing readers. And K2 Vision RLE gave me great vision that, again, is permanent. And the doctors at K2 Vision RLE have performed over 150,000 lens procedures. So they are absolute experts, and they know when RLE is right for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today, completely free. Just go to K2VisionRLE.com. K2 Vision RLE, no readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts. Again, K2VisionRLE.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at HIMS.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to HIMS.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here, and we've been talking about this. Luxury awaits at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. You can book now for an unforgettable summer experience because the hotel opens up August 8th. Bookings are open at snocasino.com starting on August 8th. The expanded non-gaming floor, the destination spa, the big new entertainment space and convention center, new restaurants as well. They're combining effortless style with the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com for details. Seattle's closest, now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. Not a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Swedish Cyberknife. You know, recently we had Andy Ryder. He's the mayor of Lacey, and he's a Swedish Cyberknife patient. We had him and Dr. Landis from Swedish Cyberknife in studio a few weeks ago, and the things that stood out were, number one, the treatment for Swedish Cyberknife. It only takes 5 sessions. Andy was able to complete treatment in 1 week, Monday through Friday, while continuing to work full-time, and each treatment session lasts less than an hour. So he was able to remain comfortable during the treatment, wearing street clothes, didn't experience any side effects, maybe just being a little bit tired. But you compare that with other treatment methods for prostate cancer where you have surgery or you have to have a catheter. I mean, it is night and day difference with Swedish Cyberknife. Also, it was really cool to see the relationship between Andy and Dr. Landis, and Andy held him in high regard, and rightfully so. Dr. Landis is a multiple-time recipient of the Seattle Top Doctor Award. And we talk about building a sports team and trying to find stars, superstars. Swedish Cyberknife, they truly have that. And it's an all-pro roster of doctors and world-renowned experts in their field, just like Dr. Landis. So Swedish Cyberknife, they treat patients from all over the state. And also, you don't need a physician referral. You can reach out to them directly. So if you've been diagnosed with prostate cancer, go to swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. You guys can weigh in on the Mariners. You can weigh in on Cal, the home run derby, Julio, whatever you got on your mind. Go ahead and text it in. At 3 o'clock, we're going to turn you over to the pregame show, and hopefully, weather permitting, they will get the game in today, or maybe there'll be a bit of a delay. And again, if there is a delay, Dave and I will be jumping on until the rain clears, I guess.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll be quick.
The big
It
ones,
does look like it, yeah. So some good news there.
Well, it looks like what?
It sounds like it would be quick and like right towards the start of the game, and then it gets much better.
So maybe
not
the
like that
start-
4-hour delay they sat through in Minnesota.
The start could be delayed,
Yeah.
but then it's clear after
Yes.
that. Okay. All right. Well,
they don't like lightning, apparently.
Yeah, I don't blame
Lightning's
them.
the big one.
I don't want to mess around with lightning either. That doesn't seem fun at all. But we talked about 6 games. You got 6 games until the All-Star break, and you know, we're all placing a certain level of importance. To me, it's just important for them to stay in this wild card race, hang on to that spot. But Jeff Passan, who was on with Brock and Salk, talked about why this stretch before the All-Star game could loom large for the Mariners.
I think it's how big of a deal are the next 6, right? Because if you're the Mariners, don't you look at this like this is our potential division series and LCS matchup? Like these are potentially the 2 best teams in the American League besides us. And, you know, the Astros have certainly worked themselves into the mix, and the Blue Jays have been fantastic and are on an absolute heater lately and look like a very good team. But I think the M's, if you look at where they're at right now, 6 games over 500, coming off a literal series shutout against the Pirates, they're feeling themselves a little.
Feeling themselves.
Brock was trying to chime in there and get a second question in.
Yeah, I thought he would start with it, but he didn't. He was trying to jump in there.
Well, it's fine. I haven't really looked at Toronto that much, but they did just sweep the Yankees in a 4-game series. So
they've won 9 in a row.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden they're looking tough. But yeah, I was just looking at Houston. I don't know. I'm tired of looking at Houston just because, number one, they keep winning, but then also, you know, it looks like they have some guys that are coming off the injured list, and you know they could get better. They could get better.
Don't say why are you speaking that evil?
Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit more evil. Also, Taylor Trammell. Now he's hitting 067 or something like that, but he did hit a home run. I think it was a 3 RBI home run.
3-run home run. Did he make a great catch, too, the other day or something?
In the Dodger game.
Came so conflicted.
Flying up and just made this beautiful catch. His glasses go flying, hat comes off, everything. He's all fired up.
Why couldn't he have just been a stud with the Mariners? That would have solved all these problems. He's the nicest guy in the world. I mean, if any of you out there listening have heard him talk, you couldn't help but go, that's a good dude. I'm rooting for that guy.
Well, the question I have is for the texters, 866-979-3776. Will you forgive Bob for liking Taylor Trammell? That's all we need, just a little forgiveness here.
I like him until I see that uniform on him, and then I'm conflicted, going, come on, man. I mean, good for, you know, in all seriousness, I'm happy he's getting a shot at the big leagues. He's been, you know, kind of going from team to team. He was with the Yankees for a little bit, and he's
Sweetest
been the minor
guy ever, Bob.
Yeah, he's impossible not to root for, but of all teams. And the other guy that we really liked, we only had one conversation with him, but he couldn't have been a bigger Mariner fanatic and talking about his history and is a fan of the Mariners and how excited he was to be in spring training with them. And he's an Astro and talking about Cooper Hummel.
Yeah. The two that you would like of all, well, Cal and Logan, but I mean,
we always talk about all the good guys, but these are young guys who haven't established themselves yet. So you're rooting for them, man, to find their way. And couldn't they find it with another team?
I just remember Taylor Trammell, like his dad worked at the post office, his mom was a teacher, you know, and he was one of those guys that would, stick around after the interview and talk to us. And oh man, it's
good dude.
Hate seeing that, but anyway, getting back to and they lost to Cleveland yesterday. The Astros did 7-5. So in spite of
there's that
Taylor Trammell's home run. But yeah, they have a series against Cleveland and then Texas, but I don't know, man. I'm just looking at what the Mariners can do, and this is, like I said, going from some offenses that don't produce in, the Royals and Pittsburgh, and now you're going into a couple of teams with Detroit and New York that are top 5 in almost every category.
Yeah, the other interesting aspect of this is going to be the sort of head-to-head battle, if you will, of the top 2 MVP candidates. Aaron Judge
why do
and
you
Cal.
bring up Cal all the time, Bob? You always got to bring Cal up.
I'm just going to break some news here. We interviewed Jeremy Piven today, the actor, the comedian, and Dave shoehorned in Cal Raleigh. Unbelievable.
Okay, but you want to know how I did it?
I saw how you did it.
Yeah, it was
shoehorn.
worthy. It was worthy. It was worthy. No, I was, because he, obviously got started acting at a very early age, but I was going, Cal Raleigh, who's in the home run derby.
And he goes, no, I don't know Cal Raleigh.
Yeah. No, he didn't. But yeah, I mean, I was talking about how he knew at that point, he's like, oh, home run derby. And I'm like, were you like that as a kid? I mean, apparently he was, Jeremy Piven.
Yeah.
And Bob scolded me.
I'm like, really?
Scolded me
in this
right
conversation,
in front of him.
you're getting Cal involved? Come on, man. But meanwhile, it is going to be interesting to see Aaron Judge, Cal Raleigh. These are the top 2 names we're talking about, obviously, every day, and where everybody out here feels like Cal should be the man, and I'm sure every Yankee fan feels like Aaron should be the guy. How do they do? Are they launching balls left and right? And one of them's going to have 3 home runs, the other one has 4, or are they going to both go 0 for the series? Right. Or is it going to be one extreme or the? I'm anxious just to see the 2 individuals. Certainly, I don't really care about those. I want the wins, but that's a nice little side thing there to keep an eye on. All right, let's compare stats at the end of this 3-game series. Who had the better 3 games here?
Yeah, it's too bad Aaron Judge isn't in the home run derby.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I'm interested to see this kid James Wood. Not to change the subject, but I think haven't seen him hit here.
Yeah,
I think he hit a couple of bombs when he was here, and he's good against righties and lefties, so he'll be interesting. But yeah, I was kind of bummed that Judge and Ohtani aren't in there.
And Schwarber and Alonso, and they all said no. Yeah. Quickly, Jeff Passan talking about whether the head-to-head series can sway an MVP race.
As a former MVP voter, I never really looked at individual series, particularly like series in July, as being some sort of thing that I took into account. So that's me. Maybe other voters are different. I just think it's cool that the 2 of them are going to be playing against each other, and we're going to see like the 2 powerhouses of the sport in 2025 go head to head, where their teams are in very similar positions, actually.
I got to believe that the most ridiculously obnoxious Yankee fan would still have some admiration for a guy that, has to squat behind the plate and, just all the work that he does and what he means to the rotation and the entire pitching staff.
You're giving a lot of credit to Yankee fans.
Come on. It's ridiculous.
I think if he were their guy, absolutely.
Yeah.
But they're going to, look, it's fans. It's fanatic, right? Logic doesn't often enter the conversation when you're a hardcore, passionate fan. It's emotion. So they're going to look at their guy and go, well, here's why Judge is way ahead of Cal and why it's so much harder for him to play right field. I'm sure they could come up with something, right? So, yeah.
Kind of like the people that text into the show and threaten to leave or not listen to us anymore. It's kind of the same type of logic.
I do like the guy that texted in earlier that said he was shaking his head that Julio is literally an all-star, and he was shaking his head, and then we chastised him on the air a little bit. He said, worst sports show ever. Love it.
I'll tell you what, man.
Love it.
If you're not going to be the best, next stop is the worst. That's fine. I'm proud of that.
Maybe it's not for you. You need a softer show. You need somebody who a little soft landing. We'll just talk about all the things that are good, and if anything bad happens, we just want to acknowledge it. You know, there are shows like that.
I think
he
does
could find one.
I think he thinks that you can beat him up, and that's why he's mad.
Oh, that's so funny. Worst sports show ever. Ever. Love it. Love it. 866-979-3776. Meanwhile, there was a big leap for one key Seahawks defensive player in ESPN's position rankings. We're going to get into that next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
Here comes the 0-2.
After a weekend of pitching dominance.
Strike three called freeze him. Ryan Wu punches out his 7th hitter.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. George Kirby strikes out Triolo.
And Castillo scoreless through 4.
The Mariners take their 3-series win streak on the road. Mariners, Yankees, live from the Bronx. Today at 4. Hear every pitch on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app. The home of the Mariners.
Well, look outside. Look at this weather. It's sunny. It's warm. This is motorcycle weather for me. This is when I love to be out there, and a lot of my friends who ride, same thing. But we take a little different risk being on a motorcycle as opposed to being in a car, much more exposed. And often hearing from my more experienced friends who on the motorcycle talking about it's not a matter of if, but when you get into an accident. Hopefully it doesn't happen. So far, so good. But if you're somebody that has been injured in a motorcycle crash, do not settle for a firm that says they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who actually live it. That's Law Tigers. They've been a part of the writing community for nearly 25 years nationwide, and they are here 24/7, 365 days a year because writers deserve real support whenever they need it. And Law Tigers is the resource writers can turn to when they're in need. Now, you see them out at all the events. They're out there supporting all the clubs, all the shops. You see the tents out there and the vans everywhere. The Law Tigers are always by your side. And, of course, your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles, so they don't get paid until you get paid. With the Law Tigers, you're never riding alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers, Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Dave Wyman here for Harley Exteriors. When you hear Harley Exteriors, think windows manufactured right here in Washington, specifically designed for our Pacific Northwest climate. Olympic Series windows are offered exclusively by Harley Exteriors. It looks absolutely stunning, much better than a traditional vinyl window, and these windows last up to 60 years. They're going to lower your energy bills and provide year-round comfort. They come with a double lifetime, fully transferable warranty, meaning not only are you covered for glass breaking or damaged seals, it's going to help you with your home's resale value. Very affordable with options like 0 payments and 0 interest up to 12 months for qualified buyers. In July, Harley Exteriors is offering 50% off basic installation, no payments, no interest for 12 months, and an additional $200 off your entire project. Call 833-HARLEY or go to harleyexteriors.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto
of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Matt Coker here from West Coast Men's Health. Guys, Viagra is not the answer for your problem. I know you think it is, but Viagra has horrible side effects, and for most men, the longer you're on it, the less it works. Viagra is not a curative medication. It's not fixing your problem. It's a Band-Aid for a shark bite. Acoustic wave therapy is the newest technology that can correct your problem, not just treat it. We can do something that no pill can do. We can restore your blood flow naturally. Get off Viagra today. Change your life like the thousands of men who already have, regardless of your age or your medical history. If you're tired of dealing with Peyronie's disease or erectile dysfunction, then call West Coast Men's Health today.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
If you've ever wondered if there's something after death, Tyler Henry proves the answer is yes. Be part of his live audience readings and his jaw-dropping ability to connect with the departed at Muckleshoot Event Center, Thursday, July 10th and Friday, July 11th at 8 p.m. Experience this evening of hope and healing, bringing peace and closure to loved ones. Tyler Henry proves our loved ones never leave us. Get tickets at muckleshootcasino.com.
Muckleshoot. Are you still using allergy pills and sprays to treat your allergy attacks? I'm Dr. Ryan Stern with the Stern Sinus Center. Nasal congestion, sneezing, runny nose, snoring, facial pain are just a few of the sinus symptoms we can help you out with. From allergy workups and treatments to modern nasal breathing procedures to advanced outpatient balloon sinuplasty, we can diagnose and treat your problems. Let us help you get relief, easily, quickly, and permanently. Find us in Federal Way or Auburn or at sternsinus.com. That's sternsinus.com.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Got the Mariners pregame show coming up at 3 p.m., so stay tuned for that. Again, they got some inclement weather that may be happening at the beginning of the game. We'll see if it impacts the start of the game, but should they go to a rain delay, Dave and I will be back with you, dazzling you with our sports expertise and comedy stylings, all that good stuff.
Right.
That's right. So, yeah. You're in good hands. Don't worry about that. Meanwhile, we talked about this yesterday. ESPN's doing their 10 best at every position. And we did running backs yesterday. There were no Seahawks running backs on there, and that's no surprise. They had a horrible running game last year.
Yep.
But they did 10 best defensive tackles today. And our guy, Big Cat, Leonard Williams, number 6. Dave, I see you highlighting the link there.
Point that out to Matt.
Well, we put 2 there to see which one you'd click on.
I went with the left go.
I'm looking at the sheet, and I see highlighting happening. I see Dave's listening to me sort of going, yeah, Leonard Williams, I'm highlighting. But Leonard Williams,
Lefko's back. I wouldn't have been able to read any of these articles.
I just like that Lefko said, I never told you to do that. Said, well, as far as everybody's concerned, you did.
Well, listen, I said Mike's way was better, and that's all Mike needs to hear.
Yeah, okay? It's not. But
yeah, let's get back to the story.
So this is, again, based on evaluations from scouts, coaches, executives out there. They've got Leonard Williams as the 6th best defensive tackle in the league, which, again, in football years, he's older. He's 31.
Yeah.
But he's still playing at an incredibly high level. He's a presence. He's a guy that he's got an impact. And he can play all over, but even from the inside, the interior, where we talked about Byron Murphy yesterday, and it's not a glamour spot. You're not going to accumulate a bunch of stats. Leonard Williams finds a way.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say he's Aaron Donald, but he's impactful, and he's a problem.
He is a huge problem, man. I mean, that guy is incredibly, and not just because we saw him return the interception for a touchdown, but he's an incredible athlete for how big he is. And, you don't really realize that until you stand right next to him.
He's a large man.
Oh, my gosh. So, yeah, and I think he is I think he's going to have a really good year this year just because, it's going to be the second year with that defense. And I think everybody understands, and remember in the second half, people just started making plays. like Spoon, and Leonard Williams, and all of a sudden, and
all because they switched linebackers.
Yeah, I mean, it was just totally different. I mean, two inside guys that just couldn't get it done. And again, so I so admire that they were so quick about it. Let's get it done right now.
Yeah.
And let's do it in the middle of the season. Might be a bit of a hassle, but learning curve, whatever. And no, it worked great. But Leonard is one of those that, he not only is, like you said, a problem, he's an extra meeting guy. He really is. He's a guy that can take on a double team and sustain that, and then he can make plays on the ball, and he's really athletic. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. The other thing is, you're saying he's 31 years old, and Chris Jones is on this list, and he's 31.
Yeah, he's 30. The list, by the way, number 1 is Dexter Lawrence from the Giants. We saw him.
How about number 3?
He's a problem. 27 years old.
Yeah.
Chris Jones is number 2, as you just said. Number 3, Jalen Carter.
Yeah,
and the Philadelphia Eagles.
You know what? I'm sorry.
I'll take Spoon every day.
You're taking Witherspoon. There's no way. I mean, and the other thing is that we've talked about this before, but for those D linemen, if you're playing 60%, 65% of the snaps, I mean, you look at Spoon. He never comes off the field.
Yeah. And he can whether it's sacking a quarterback, whether it's intercepting a ball, tipping a ball,
he's a better football player by far.
He's multiple, Dave,
than Jalen Carter.
Multiple.
Yeah, and I know people are they need to get a defensive Jalen Carter, this and that.
Well, we'll see what Byron Murphy does.
They got the better player. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're just telling me you can have Jalen Carter or you can have Witherspoon, I'm taking Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Because I just think he impacts the game in more ways, and he's out there more. The other guys on the list quickly, Jeffrey Simmons is number 4 from the Tennessee Titans. Quinnen Williams from the Jets, number 5. Leonard Williams, as we told you, number 6. Matt Abuike from the Ravens, number 7. DeForest Buckner of the Colts is at 8. Vita Vea from the Bucks at 9. And number 10 is Cameron Hayward from the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. There's your top 10, according to ESPN.
Cameron Hayward is 36. Yeah. I'd like to think that you can get another 5 or 6 years out of Big Cat. But
I hope so,
that's
man.
some serious durability there, because those guys, I mean, like I said, it's not like they're in super high impact type of collisions or anything, but just pushing on another dude who's 320 pounds, I mean, that wears you down.
Yeah. Some of the comments about Leonard Williams, a veteran, and they didn't identify. They just said veteran NFL coach said, quote, his play finally matched his abilities last season. He was dominant. Others have been better than him in previous years, but he always had a high ceiling. So he posted a career high in quarterback hits at 28, tackles for a loss, 16. Says impressive feat in year 10, had 64 tackles, 3 passes defended, and then the 92-yard interception return.
The other thing really quick is you can line him up anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, even in a 9, you can bring him off the edge. I mean, he is that versatile.
Yeah.
So.
And then one other quote, he has rare length, range, and power. Was nice to see him put it all together. So a lot of praise for what he did last season. All right. That's going to do it for us. Again, there's some inclement weather in the forecast for New York, so we're going to see if this game gets underway. The pregame show will get underway here in a matter of minutes, so you'll get through the pregame show. We'll see if the game gets started on time. If it does not, Dave and I will be back with you until the weather subsides. Hopefully they get it in and Logan Gilbert becomes Logan Gilbert once again. Either way, we'll be talking to you soon here with Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710.
Here comes the 0-2.
After a weekend of pitching dominance.
Strike 3 called freeze him. Ryan Wu punches out his 7th hitter.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. George Kirby strikes out Triolo.
And Castillo scoreless through 4.
The Mariners take their 3-series win streak on the road. Mariners, Yankees, live from the Bronx. Today at 4. Hear every pitch on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app. The home of the Mariners.
Hey, have you been considering surgery or even joint replacement? It's Dave Wyman here, and after years of football, I know all about bad knees. So I recently had a consultation with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, and I've heard so many patients rave about stem cell therapy with Dr. Wagner, people with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone. Well, they're back hiking, jogging, playing tennis, skiing, golfing, even just going up and down stairs, playing with the kids and grandkids, and doing it without pain and without surgery. Dr. Mark Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience, and his 60-minute outpatient procedure uses your own stem cells, which can regenerate your own cartilage in your own joints. And he's performed over 25,000 stem cell procedures, and he's one of the few doing it the right way. So whether it's a shoulder, hip, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Get the facts, then get back in the game at drmarkwagnermd.com.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx, save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent. Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Hey, everybody, it's Bob Stelton here, and let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. I went to K2 Vision for refractive lens exchange. Now, I'm somebody who struggled with up-close vision. I couldn't read restaurant menus. I couldn't read receipts. I couldn't read the text on my phone. I had this crazy large font on there. I put the readers away. I went to K2 Vision, and I'm actually reading some of what I'm saying to you right now. I couldn't do that before. It's amazing. So if you're like me, you struggle with distance vision, or you always need a pair of glasses, K2 Vision RLE is quick. It's absolutely painless, and I am seeing great without glasses or readers. RLE is a game changer. I'm excited to spend my good active years not needing reading glasses. K2 Vision RLE gave me great vision that, more importantly, is permanent. The doctors at K2 Vision have performed over 150,000 lens procedures, so they know when RLE is right for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Walking away from an interaction with a customer that says, I can't believe how easy this was. I can't thank you enough for helping me.
Our strategy with pricing is not to be the highest price and not to be the lowest price, but to be a really good price and to provide a really good experience to the customer.
Yeah, I have a ton of really memorable customers. Afterwards, to thank us, he sent us this beautiful basket of candies and fruits and stuff. It was just really sweet. It really it felt like we were truly helping.
Receiving a handwritten letter that's personalized to a salesperson or a service advisor or a technician expressing gratitude, and then taking that home and sharing that with your family and hanging that on your refrigerator, that's the difference.
You hear it from one person, and then another, and another. You come to realize it's not a script, it's a belief. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
The countdown is on.
15 days until Seahawks training camp.
On the home of the Seahawks,